What you are about to hear is highly classified. Hey everyone, Brant Fowler here from Zone 4, aka the fabled Gonzo Goose, as you know me online. And I'm back with another Marvel Now #1 issue review. This time I'm looking at Fantastic Four #1. And this is by Matt Fraction with Mark Bagley art. And first off, I have to say, Mark Bagley art, love it. I've been a fan of Bagley since Amazing Spider-Man, Ultimate Spider-Man. I just love his art. I think he's one of the best in the business, and this was no exception. This was a great looking book, so kudos on the art, absolutely. The story, Matt Fraction is kind of hit and miss with me. I like some of his stuff, I don't like some of his stuff. This particular issue I really dug. I'm not a huge Fantastic Four fan. I mean, I love the characters, I love the concept, you know, I even love the movies, but I've never been able to get into the comic for whatever reason. I've tried and I've tried and I've tried, and Jonathan Hickman's run completely turned me off. I could not get into that at all. So you know, I tiptoed into this book expecting to not like it, and I actually liked it. So it made me want to stick around, and there was one major thing that I disliked, and I'll get to that in a little bit, and it really has nothing to do with the issue itself. Now the story itself, it didn't blow me away. It's not like, you know, oh my god, this is the best Fantastic Four story ever. No, it's nothing like that. It was a very simple story. There was some progression, but not a lot. I mean, it was, they did little beats to introduce each character in a way that wasn't like, hi, I'm Johnny Storm, or hi, this is Johnny Storm and he does this and that. But they had little beats, like Johnny Storm had a moment with a girl where she thought spoilers, she thought he was going to give her a ring, and he gave her his phone number and said, this is the real one, not the fake one. So it was a cute moment. It was funny, arrogant Johnny Storm kind of behavior, and it was cool. There was a big battle with the Thing and the Yancey Street Gang that was all filmed on YouTube, and it was this comical you know, little instance where Thing was his frustrated, angry self, and you know, I hate those dummies, and that kind of thing. And you saw Sue being a parent. Of course, the issue opens up with Franklin having a bad dream, not wanting to go into space. He tells him not to go into space because, you know, he sees all these things are going to go wrong, and Sue comforts him, and of course there's all the other kids that have been around there, the Future Foundation, the FF, Dragon Man, and all those. And we see Reed, who has apparently been hurt, and doesn't understand why, because, you know, with his elasticity powers, he shouldn't be able to be hurt quite like this. But his arm, one of his arms is just torn to shreds, and it's he can't figure out how to fix it, so he's working on that. And you know, after we get all these introductions, he has an epiphany, and he comes up with this idea that maybe there's some place out there in the universe that he has not found, that he's not discovered, that would hold the key to his cure. And so Reed, being who he is, paints a pretty picture for the rest of the crew and everybody, and says, you know what, let's take all the kids on an expedition through space, make this a teaching journey. And of course he has this ulterior motive to find this cure that he's looking for, that could potentially do other things as well. So, you know, he has this ulterior motive, but he wraps it in this nice pretty shell, and that's classic Reed behavior. But, you know, it was a very progressive thing, because, you know, we see this this could lead to a possible cure for their mutations. So well, they're not mutations, but they're powers or whatever. So it's an interesting development, and it's something that I'm curious to see play out. And to see these kids, I always was a firm believer that the Fantastic Four are better when they are spacefaring people. They are supposed to be a space family Robinson, a Lost in Space kind of crew. And of course, there was one key scene I left out of this. At the beginning, I said Franklin had a bad dream. Well, it opened up with Reed and everybody in space with these frightened looks on their face, and then it jumps back to the present where Franklin's dreaming and everything, and it's like, okay, we're going to get to that point where something really bad is going to happen, but we don't know that yet. So, all in all, it was a solid story. It brought me in, made me interested, made me want to see where it's going. The only negative part that I really hated was the fact that at the very end it says continued in FF #1. And even if it's just for that one issue, just to tie those two in, that really bugs me. Because A, I don't like having to read another book, to get what's going on in this one. And B, Michael Allred is the artist on FF, and I am not a Michael Allred fan. So I'm going to review it anyway because it's a Marvel Now #1, but it's not something I want to have to read, and that bothers me. So because of that, and because of it just being an okay but solid story, but still drawing me in, I'll give it a 4 out of 5. And that's my review for Fantastic Four #1. Be back with me for another Marvel Now #1 review very soon. Thanks for watching.
This has been a Gonzo Goose production.